This afternoon, Mr. Alexandre Trudeau is appearing at the Ethics Committee in a direct result of CSIS uncovering a foreign influence operation to target Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Mr. Alexandre Trudeau's brother. We know that $140,000 flowed from cutouts acting on behalf of the communist dictatorship in Beijing to the Trudeau Foundation, where the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, remains a succession member. And we learned yesterday from the former CEO, who was in that role at the time of the donation, that Mr. Alexandre Trudeau's involvement was unusual. Unusual that in the only instance the CEO could think of, that he signed the donation agreement. Unusual that in what Mr. Rosenberg, the CEO, initially denied, that officials, diplomats from the PRC were present at the meeting to negotiate and discuss this donation. We have questions about Mr. Alexandre Trudeau's relationship with the individuals who were acting to deliver those funds on behalf of the dictatorship in Beijing, and need to establish when he first became aware of this influence operation, which has now been reported through the Globe and Mail. So we're going to ask those questions today and have 2 hours to try to get some answers from Mr. Trudeau.
What's with the book? Or I guess you'll explain.
As always, I just bring some material for the meeting. Donc, merci beaucoup. On est ici pour entendre M. Alexandre, pardon. On est ici pour entendre M. Alexandre Trudeau en comité suite aux révélations du Service canadien de renseignement de sécurité qu'il y avait une opération d'influence qui avait été orchestrée pour délivrer des fonds au sein de la Fondation Trudeau, fonds qui devaient servir à influencer le gouvernement du premier ministre Justin Trudeau. On a des questions à poser sur ce que M. Alexandre Trudeau savait de ce don. On a des questions également suite aux révélations de Mme Pascale Fournier, qui avait dit que c'était très inhabituel de voir un représentant comme M. Alexandre Trudeau signer l'entente sur justement un don comme celui-là. Et hier, M. Rosenberg, l'ancien CEO de la Fondation, qui a dit que c'était à sa connaissance la seule fois qu'un membre du conseil d'administration avait signé une telle entente. Donc, on a beaucoup de questions à poser sur cette situation-là particulière à la Fondation Trudeau. On a des questions également sur les liens de M. Trudeau et ses donateurs et son rôle dans l'organisation de ces dons-là. On sait qu'il a été, M. Rosenberg a également, après l'avoir admis que des représentants du régime de Pékin ont participé à une rencontre visant à déterminer la manière dont ces dons-là allaient être faits à la Fondation. Donc, toutes ces questions-là sont des questions qu'on va tenter d'avoir la vérité, et uniquement la vérité cet après-midi, de la part de M. Alexandre Trudeau.
Je comprends que vous voulez faire le lien entre les donateurs, la Fondation, mais quel lien avec Justin Trudeau voyez-vous à ce stade-ci?
Je vous invite à écouter et à regarder le comité. C'est ce qu'on va tenter de déterminer avec les questions qu'on va poser à M. Alexandre Trudeau.
Vous voulez le questionner sur le livre aussi?
Le livre fait partie. On sait que Justin Trudeau a déjà déclaré qu'il avait une admiration pour le dictateur, la dictatorship en anglais, là, mais pour de la Chine, du régime de Pékin. On voit dans ce livre-là que j'ai lu avec attention que la famille Trudeau a une admiration pour le régime communiste du régime de Pékin. Donc, on va essayer de démontrer si cette admiration pour le régime communiste peut avoir joué un rôle quelconque dans cette donation et dans ces liens du régime communiste de Pékin et la Fondation Trudeau. Merci beaucoup.
I guess the significance of bringing this book today?
It's just to make the relationship between the admiration that Mr. Trudeau Justin said once about this basic dictatorial regime in Peking, and to explain, maybe that explain why there's a relationship between Trudeau family, Trudeau Foundation, and everything like that. So in this book, we see that the family has a long-term relationship with China, and he said in this book that he admires the regime communist, and he's still defending. So we probably ask some question about it.
Mr. Barrett, can you, yesterday we heard from Mr. Rosenberg, and he sort of talked about it's a different time that this donation took place, a different era in the relationship between China and Canada, and perhaps they were naive at the time. Do you find that as a explanation, a reasonable explanation why there weren't more red flags at the time?
I think naive is a very polite term to describe it. The circumstances surround it, you'll recall that in the questioning of Mr. Rosenberg, I asked if consular officials, individuals acting on officially acting on behalf of foreign governments, regularly participated in negotiations or discussions to arrange donations. And he said no, and in fact he said that it had never happened. The access to information documents I brought jogged his memory, and he recognized that it did in fact happen, but only on one occasion, and only with a donation from coming from this Chinese-backed organization.
It was Alexandre Trudeau's idea to come here today. He asked to come. Are you surprised?
Last question.
I'm pleased that we have the opportunity to get some answers today. Certainly, there's an awful lot of interest in it because of the serious implications of an influence operation.
What answers are you looking for from Mr.
You know, as I mentioned before, we're looking to find out what his involvement was, what his relationship was, and you know, certainly what his awareness was of this influence operation. But you can hear my questions right after his opening statement in about 5 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you.